Hello, Libra. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. All right, let's get started. So the first thing I'm seeing immediately as I pick this thing up, sometimes it's wild how clear the images end up. We have a dog right here. Look at the head. Here's the head, the eye, the mouth is open. Okay. Here's the body right here, the leg. We're just going to let some of that go. The leg and the legs here. Okay. Now the tail back here. It's also the number 6. Okay. We have the number 6. Over here, we have a person who is wearing a hat. You can see the little hat here. You can see the head. They seem to have something in their hand. It almost, I imagine, is like food on a plate. We have the person with the legs here, and it looks like they're running. Okay. Now, up here, it looks like we have another person who has a hat. Okay. You can see right here. Here is their eye. And here is a mask over their face. And they are, it looks like they're also running because you can see this is the leg. The knee would be right here. Foot kind of right here and kind of in the same position as this one. Okay. So we have this kind of reiteration of running. They both remind me of cowboys or like, to me what it read as is this whole like kind of white hat, black hat, gray hat, good guys, bad guys. Do you remember? I always think of like when we're speaking in these kinds of dualities is spy versus spy. That was always my favorite of the black and white. But gosh, to me, Libra, my dearest, to me, I almost feel like you have this real kind of naughty side. I feel like you have this, sometimes you can, be up to a little bit of trouble. Now, I'm not saying you're out here breaking laws necessarily, but I do feel like you kind of get a kick out of being a little bit bad. Not so bad that you're going to get in trouble or anybody would think too poorly of you or anything like that. But I think you like a little bit of risk. You like a little bit of, you're doing the wrong thing, right? I feel like with the dog is such a guardian, right? Is that thing that is at the threshold, right? When you approach an opening and you begin to endeavor to go in, and then all of a sudden those dogs, they come running and they're barking. And they're not excited. Well, they're excited to see you, but not in a good way, right? And so I feel like there's maybe something that you have got involved with. Maybe this is a new friendship. Maybe you're having a little bit of a dalliance with somebody, or, like kind of a casual thing, or, I don't know. Maybe, I'm trying to think. For me, it's always like, I get into, a new kind of, like, snack or something. I know, that's, like, my problem is, like, it's not a problem, but it's, like, I find something I really like, and I go buck wild, man. I like these, like, they're bags of kind of like it's trail mix, but it's like, geared towards like protein and stuff, and like pumpkin seeds and that kind of thing. And man, I get like bandit in the night with that stuff sometimes, and I'm like, dude, I gotta chill. I've had like 6 handfuls of nuts today. Like, what are you doing? So anyways, it could be anything. It could be something very mundane, like what I'm talking about. It could be something, you know, really kind of very life-changing, right? But I feel like something within this particular, you know, what should I say? It's not a fixation. You're just like enamored. I feel like you're enamored with something. Of course, like, it's Valentine's Day energy. Eros is in the air. And I want to think like, oh yeah, you got a little something, you know, a brewing over here. Like, maybe I'm just, it's like I'm, you know, it's like watching romance soap operas or whatever. But I feel like there's like a red flag. Something. Now, it doesn't have to be that this is a romantic, you know, you're really trying to make this thing happen or anything like that. Like I said, it could be like anything, like you're cheating on your, you know, like workout thing, you know, you're, you know, right now you're supposed to be lifting and here you are over there doing like, I don't know, like circuit training or something. And like CrossFit or whatever. I don't know. Does that equate? I don't know. But, you know, there are times where it's like, bro, I know I need to be doing this thing, or this is what I have decided and I'm going to stick with this. And then, you know, you find yourself, you know, and I feel that there's just kind of this, I know, I'm like really, I want to be careful. I feel like there is a sense of knowing that like this is going to distract you. You're going to get off course. You're going to lose your momentum. This might not be, you know, something that you're prepared for, or you've thought it out, you know, beyond like what you want right now. And I feel like immediately, it's like your own mind, body, soul, daemon, not to be confused with daemon, your higher thinking kicks in, right? Your guardian angel is on point saying, yo, no. And your mind is saying yes, or, you know, I want to do this, or, you know, I deserve, or this, you know, it won't be that big of a deal, or whatever. And so what our guardian angel will do for us is sometimes even just like really like physically put something in the way. You know, you might find yourself feeling like, oh, I've been having a lot, you know, headaches, or all of a sudden, you know, your car breaks down, or, you know, like the world will plot against you to get you off of the course that you are trying to, against all, you know, anybody's advices. You're trying to get there, and the universe is saying, come on, man, you know, like chill out. We shouldn't be going there, right? So I feel like for you, it's like this real sense of tempering. Okay, I really want this thing. I'm kind of a little bit of a bad girl anyways. I'm gonna, you know, I do what I want type of deal. And the universe says, listen, babe, you know, like, I feel you, I hear you. Of course you have free will, or perception of free will. Do your thing, but I'm going to tell you this is not for you. And also, here's a little bit of a fever, you know, or whatever. Here's a hangnail. So, I mean, you know, it's worth heeding. We did a lot of talking about this, so it's worth heeding. Okay, we're going to turn. Ah, yes. We have the Hierophant and the Child. And we have the Star. Look at that. Here's the Child. Here's the Hierophant sitting, looking at the Child. We also have, look at this beautiful bird up here. Very much a rebirth arc. man, there's a real feeling of like, this, my guys, is my year. This is my year. Libra is rising. Now we have also the number 939. 939. And so down here we have the star, which the star indicates a goal, right? The child and the Hierophant indicates the apprentice and, the learned one. Okay. The initiate and the teacher. And so I do feel that you have found something, right? You found something that speaks to you. You found something that really, it makes you feel like there is some kind of, greater meaning to life. This could be a faith. It could be some kind of skill set. Maybe you've begun painting or, creating in some way, making money, I don't know. Maybe you went to school and you got certified in something. Now you're like, you finally got locked in with your first like good job within your industry and, you're rolling. It could be that, right? Whatever it is, man, you are fully in this dynamic of, a lot of it is the ever learner. Okay. The Hierophant is, the high priest, the, chief, ear and voice of God, the intermediate, physical, corporeal, of the message, right? And so, this is a person that is ever learning. This is a person that never stops researching, studying, memorizing, dwelling within the text, within the tenets, within, the virtues, the convictions of their chosen faith or, belovedness, their worldview, the thing, that they align themselves with. And that never ends for somebody who is mastering these things, because life is ever evolving, and thus our understanding of life is ever evolving, and all the tools we need to do that ever evolving, right? And so I am just happy to feel this within you. You are somebody who is really serious about deepening your relationship with the unknown, with the greater thing, the divine, the sciences, the, pathways of the universe, and so on. And so I see this next period of time being very much about meeting some of these goals that you have set for yourself. Now, these might be well defined, like, I'm going to do this like certain ceremony or ritual this year or this season or whatever, and I'm going to work towards that. It could be that you are realigning yourself with, getting back into your education in some way, reading the books, or maybe you're an initiate in some kind of grade system. You are redevoting yourself to those exercises and things you have to do. It could be any of these things. It could be really that you have just been checked out of life. Going through the motions, going to work, getting up, going to work, trying to make that money, paying the bills as best as you can, and doing it again, and you don't feel like you've had much movement at all. And suddenly, the world, all of a sudden, it's like, a firecracker went off, right? Something happened, because, man, we are all standing here looking up at the sky like, okay, things have shifted. This is quite different. It feels strange. Everything feels like it is coming to a fever pitch. And nevermore, I'm just going to editorialize this for 2 seconds, even though I'm the only one talking, but whatever. This is the time of the mother. I'm just going to tell you straight up, this is the time of the mother. This is the archetype that is on the rise. This is the energy that is going to shift the world. I don't mean to say that you have to have ever been, a mother in the sense that you had a child or you raised a child as, a mother figure. This is the archetype that dwells in all of us. This is the one that looks out over the flock, her fellow people, the children, the ones in their middle seasons, the ones that are older and elderly that are, needing help. And when the mother looks out, she scans and sees what does everybody need? What do we need to do as a people, as a collective, as a family, right? What moves do we need to make? Setting up the systems for that to happen, right? And really, really, really paying attention to the little parts that might really catch you up, right? That might be the little pitfalls, the little holes in the bottom of the bucket and that kind of thing. The mother looks through all this, but even, all of this kind of keeping the foundational, keeping those very earth elementy things together. The mother, yes, the mother is the protector. The mother is, and now, okay, the masculine, we can say these are the warriors, these are, imagine, I don't want to imagine this, no, but let me say, the mother is the fierce thing, the last line of defense that is just going to go till the end, will not stop. There will be no stopping her from continuing on and doing what she must to protect her beloved ones, her children. If that's children directly or children in the broader sense. And I will tell you what, this is the time of the mother. The mother will not abide these things any longer. And you know what I'm talking about. And I mean on all levels. This is the time of the mother. I'm seeing and hearing a lot of women in my life and around me. Ones that I am very privileged to communicate with. And ones that I am witnessing more passively. What I feel is a rise in our perception of ourselves, of each other. And a knowing that it is our time. It's never not been, really, because we've always been basically running everything. But now, too many lines have been crossed. And that's finally been verified. And the sad thing, we've known for so long. We've watched institute after institute prove to us. It's not the first one, it won't be the last one. But guess what? We're not putting up with any of this anymore. So, anyways, let's take a look. We have a heart. We have what looks like we have the fish down here. Look at that. We have a phallic symbol. We have the letters S-E, and then we have the heart. But up here we have the X. We also, I have to say, I feel like this is not necessarily, it's not necessarily about the act, okay? Although it feels like you are in a place where there is some amount of, feeling yourself, okay? But I feel like more that this is about creating and creating and creating. Okay. Taking all of this like chaotic energy that's been just profoundly, like, I mean, like a tsunami, just taking things out, right? I've become disillusioned about so many like very particular, not like in like the general, I mean, I was already there pretty much, um, for the consensus reality anyways, and the very shared zeitgeist, right? But it just, I mean, all of a sudden, just so many things like, or it's like, oh, that's what that was. Oh, okay, now I absolutely see about this, business or this person or whatever. And this trend, that's the big thing, is all this social engineering. Whew. I don't know if you've looked at any of that stuff, but this social engineering involved in everything that's been going on, and the papers and the conversations to back some of that up. Wild. I mean, we knew though, right? We knew, and yet, listen, I'm not trying to get anybody like down the rabbit hole. You can tell I've kind of like, I really tried to stay out of it for so long, but I couldn't. I mean, who could? But look up the social engineering stuff and connected to like malls from back in the day, and where all of that leads to. The people that own the malls and the tween culture that came out of that. Oh my goodness. This is towards the end of the video, so I can talk about these things, hopefully. But yeah, it's just also wild. It's also wild, right? And so I know that there's just, so many directions that we're being pulled in. And this is only like one of a bazillion other things that are going on that are so scary, so worrisome, right? And yet we have to like get up and dust ourselves off every day and keep going. How do we do that? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Every moment of the day I'm like doing stuff. I'm trying to like go through all the things I got to do. And then I stop for a second and I think like, I don't even know what's going to be. And, like in a few years. And if it just like goes back to the slumber of normal, that's somehow even worse than the chaotic unknown of, collapse and all this. And I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to think about it. But what do we do? One of the things that I think is super important, and what Spirit tells us constantly, is taking that creative, and the phallic is very much the creative. It is the wand, right? The fire. This is the creative energy of the universe. You take this rage, this fear, this terror, this lament, this confusion, this I don't know what's real or not, all the things, right? We put it into our creative endeavors. We make something with it. Make something. I don't care if you haven't painted since you were in 5th grade. You know what I mean? I don't care if you don't do anything creative or arts and crafty or whatever, right? Start doing something, okay? Hobbies, skills, making stuff. Do it with your hands, okay? I mean, if you're doing stuff on the computer or your phone and stuff, that's, make some digital art or whatever. But the tactile, like, feeling recharge of doing something in the analog with your hands, feeling something, doing like pottery, wood crafting, painting, coloring, I don't know, stacking stones. Don't do that in the park or out in the wilderness. So we don't stack stones. It's not good for the environment, I guess. Don't do it. Unless it's at a trailhead or whatever. I don't know. Something, I think hiking, they use them for like to show where, I don't know what I'm talking about. Everything is just, it's the Twilight Zone. All right. Anyways, that's how we save ourselves, honestly, is creating. I know you might think, well, you know, we're on the brink of, the whatever, WW3. What does that matter? Listen, when the energy of the species is so, frenzied, fervored, you know, just swollen with all of this energetics, you know, whatever, and there's nowhere it's going, it is going to go in the wrong direction, my friends, right? It ends up in the streets, ends up in, you know, people having these weird ideas of wanting to control each other and this and that kind of thing. And so we put it into the work. We put it into the art. We put it into the creating. We put it into, you know, learning how to drywall or something, you know, whatever it is. Do something for yourself. I don't care if you're working 3 jobs, you barely sleep, you have kids to feed. I understand. I get it. Do something for yourself. I know it's another thing on your plate. Please. I don't care if you, you know, liberate a little notepad from, you know, a place that you go in to buy something. No, I don't mean to liberate it because you have to pay for it. I mean, like on their desk, they have the little, you know, whatever. You got a few sticky notes from them. I don't care what you have to do. Get a little bit of paper or something, right? Doodle on that thing. Allow yourself to doodle on that thing for a few minutes every day. I don't care what it is. Just do it consistently. Okay? Do it for yourself. All right. Let's see. What else do we have here? We have RT. We have a cat that looks angry. We have a fish. Money. Oh, and it says goat. Look at that. Can you see that right there? GOAT. Goat. No. Yes, goat. So the cat is independent. A mean cat is like pushing people away. So I feel like, you know, as you are really getting into this kind of letting off the steam of all the things that are built up inside, I feel like, you know, you're interested in being close with somebody, being closer than you have been. There is a sense of, you know, at times kind of being irritable and all of that, you know, and who isn't right now, really. So also just, you know, making sure that you are checking in with yourself, doing things that help soothe you, keep you grounded, sleeping enough, drinking enough water, all those kind of things. Okay. All right. We're going to do 3 lucky numbers. 62, 17, 100. All right. Okay. Well, that's it, Libra. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you for being here with me. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, we'll talk soon, and